And now, folks, on to our final show, an updated version of the 1950s classic, Candy Matson. Tonight we hear about the adventures of her granddaughter, Toffy Matson, Private Eye.
Hello, Yukon Detective Agency. Yes, this is Toffy Matson. Well, that was a pleasant afternoon, Rupert, my dear.
Oh, pleasant but unprofitable. As many times as I've been to the horse races, I've never been smart enough to quit while I'm ahead.
Well, as Plato once said, no one with any horse sense plays the horses.
That was Groucho Marx, dear. But the drive has been lovely.
Yes, Golden Gate Fields is a beautiful park.
Why are you headed up into Berkeley Hills?
Oh, one, I wanted to avoid the traffic on the highway this time of day, and two, I like driving slowly with the top down, and three, I just had a thought.
Oh, how wonderful. So few people do since the advent of the internet. What might your precious thought be?
Oh, I know an amazing little spot to eat over in Lafayette. How would you like to have dinner there instead of in town?
Splendid, dear girl. That sounds wonderful.
Oh, good. It should only take about 45 minutes. Well, it's certainly forlorn country up this way. I guess the real estate folks haven't caught up with it yet.
Give the vultures time. Oh, my God, Toffy, look out!
Oh! What was that?
A black cat. Now I know we're in for bad luck. Well, at least you didn't hit it. That was quite the full stop, my dear. I'm sure my stomach's around here somewhere.
Help me, please.
Okay, what was that?
It must be coming from that house. It's the only one around here.
Please help me.
Oh, let's find out what this is all about, Ducky.
Here we go. I just know that darn black cat will bring us nothing but trouble.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Oh, he looks pretty rough. Quick, Rupert, help me get him on the couch.
Oh, surely. Wait, hold on. There we go.
Okay. Oh, it looks like a heart attack. We need to get his collar open and loosen his tie.
My wife is gone for a doctor.
Oh, good. How long ago?
I don't know. Too late. Take letter. Deliver to...
Oh, take it easy. Take it easy. Save your strength. Rupert, call 911.
I can't, kitten. No bars on the apple, I'm afraid.
This is important. Must talk. Must.
I've got his tie off. His top button is stuck. Should I rip it?
Never mind about his collar. It won't do him any good. Not now, the poor man.
Wait. You don't mean that he's dead?
I'm afraid so. I can't find a pulse.
Well, this is a fine kettle of fish. How do we explain this one, Dove?
Just tell what happened the way it happened.
Who will believe that we were just driving along on a lonely road, got ambushed by a cat, heard this fellow call for help, and then had him expire half a minute later?
Well, the truth may be hard to swallow, Rupert, but it's all we got.
Well, this is just 50 shades of terrible. What do we do now?
Leave. Report it to the police as soon as we get a signal. Oh, there's nothing we can do unless you know some kind of spell to bring him back.
Sorry, love. All my magic happens on the dance floor. We could stay and console the widow when she returns.
No. I hate scenes like that. She'll cry, then I'll cry, then you'll cry. We both feel miserable for a week. Come on, Ducky, let's go.
You aren't forgetting that letter, are you?
No. That was the request of a dying man. It may seem corny, but I'll follow through with it. It's the least I can do.
Oh, scat! Away, you
Rupert,
demon!
What's wrong?
That foul creature startled me. A black cat, and it just ran across the doorstep in front of us.
Now, don't start that. A cat's just a cat, whether it's white or tan or black. Stop with the superstition and stick to the facts, you old fraidy cat.
What are you, Detective Seuss now?
Yeah, that kind of got away from me. Let's go. Well, the fact is, the only kind of critters that worry me walk on two legs.
Well, start worrying then, dearie, because here comes one of the two-legged types now.
Oh, pardon me.
Oh, certainly. Are you the doctor?
Yes, that's right.
I'm afraid you're a bit late, doctor. The gentleman that's there has, passed.
What? Jerome's dead? Oh, the fool. I warned him about overworking.
I'm not being curious, you understand. But where's the gentleman's wife?
Why, inside, isn't she?
No. Just before he died, he said that she had gone to get you.
She called me. I assumed it was from the house.
She couldn't have. No service. She must have picked it up, a signal down the hill.
I just knew something like this would happen. It was that darn black cat.
Oh, Ducky, come on now. By the way, Doc, what did you say the gentleman's name was?
Moreland, Jerome Moreland. Wait a moment. Young lady, if you don't know him, what are you doing here?
Oh, now that's a good question. Answer the good doctor, pet.
Well, my friend and I were driving up the road when a cat ran in front of our car, and I hit the brakes full stop. Apparently, Mr. Moreland made it to the window and called to us as we were passing. The door was open. We found him up against the windowsill, and we tried to make him comfortable, but it was too late. He died in less than 2 minutes.
I see. Come along with me, please. First, I want to examine Jerome, then I'll need some information from you for my report.
I have one tiny gnawing thought in the back of my head. What happened to Moreland's wife? When one's husband is dying, you don't stop off for a pack of smokes on your way to call the doctor and then just forget to go home.
Dove, I can't place my finger on the exact cause, but I have a slight touch of the vapors.
Oh, Ducky, I'm sorry. Do you think it was seeing Mr. Moreland die right in front of us?
It was either that sight of that poor man dying or it was the gas station sushi we ate on the way back to town. In either case, I'd like to go home, attack the aspirin bottle, and retire to my bed. Would you be a dove and drive me home to my domicile?
Oh, certainly, Ducky. I've got a little errand I want to run anyway.
Oh, my dear girl, are you going to entangle yourself in this terrible thing?
You know me and my hunches, Rupert. Something about this whole thing isn't right. I don't like it. Well, in the first place, I'm not too sure about that doctor. Well, the more I think about it, the more it strikes me that she gave us a better going over than she did the body.
I noticed that, too.
Oh, that was a neat and tidy home with a woman's touch, Ducky. If Moreland's wife is that kind of a homemaker, she wouldn't just run out of the house, call the doctor, and run away to Neverland or Las Vegas or wherever people run to.
I admit it does sound suspicious. It has something to do with that infernal cat, believe me.
Oh, you do have a touch of the vapors. Come on, Lamb, I'll take you home. You're becoming delirious. Well, if it isn't my old friend, Detective Lieutenant Ray Mallard of the Homicide Division. Imagine meeting you here.
Hey there, Cupcake. What brings you around to the dank dungeons of the Hall of Justice?
Not love or money, Copper. Not at this late hour.
You know, a pretty girl drops into my office just to say hello, and right off the bat, I smell a rat. Is this a social call, or should I start hiding my valuables?
Okay, you've got me. I'm here on business, sort of.
You see, if you just admitted that in the first place, we could have saved some lines of dialogue. What's your pitch?
I just met a doctor.
How interesting. Nothing contagious, I hope. Should I get checked?
Cute. Said doctor affected me like a colonoscopy.
Okay, first off, yuck. Second, what's the story with Dr. Flashlight?
Well, it's got something to do with the gentleman who died under my very nose, Mallard dear.
For you, that's every other Thursday. You attract dead bodies the way anime attracts nerds. But hey, I'll buy the ticket, so start the show from the beginning.
You ever heard of a man by the name of Jerome Moreland?
Jerome Moreland? Dr. Jerome Moreland? Are you kidding me? Yeah, one of the world's greatest scientists. I've heard of him.
Well, shake the hands with the hand that loosened the tie of greatness. Of course, then he up and died on me. Well, that was my day. How was yours, dear?
Wait, what? This is not good. What happened?
Oh, Mallard, dear, I've never seen you so affected by a corpus.
It's going to affect the entire world. Dr. Moreland was a GPS and AI specialist and a vital cog in a national security machine.
Sorry, afraid I don't follow. And, well, since when did you switch from guns and ammo to popular science?
Remember, smart girl, I'm on the police intelligence squad. You really don't know anything about Dr. Moreland?
Not ringing any bells. Nope. Sorry.
He had a leading role in developing the new Israeli missile defense system. He contributed to the XF-200 military drone, and he was working on some project that could change the world, like flying cars changed the world.
Oh, okay, sure. Now I remember. He came up with some math formula nobody else could understand, didn't he? Did a TED Talk?
Yeah, that's the guy. He's been out of the public eye for like the last 6 months, supposedly for security reasons. I got a confidential intel report. It says he was working on an algorithm that makes it possible to control all the air traffic in the world from one location. 24/7, no errors. In the modern world, that's like a caveman discovering fire.
Wow. And imagine I was there when he died.
I'm probably going to regret asking this, but how did you get mixed up in all this?
Rupert and I were driving up a road in Berkeley, top down, radio off, enjoying the peace, when a huge black cat darted across the road. Well, I hit the brakes and the curtain opened on crazy. We heard someone calling for help, went in the house, and there he was. Heart attack, maybe.
You know, anybody else's life, that story would sound weird. With you, it's not so much. Shame about Dr. Moreland. He was one of the colossal brains of the century. Of course, you'll be called to the inquest.
Oh, sure. And after all the questions that doctor asked me, I'm going to be the star of the show.
Yeah. Who was the doctor?
Who was the what? Sorry?
His name, her name, what was the doctor's name?
Mallard, you won't believe this. I forgot to ask.
And you make a living as a private eye. Toffy, you're killing me here. It's a good thing you're pretty.
Well, Romeo, marry me, buy me a big house in the country and a new Mercedes, and I'll give it all up for you. We'll have little mallards running all over the lawn and pot roast on Sundays.
Okay, tough girl. Let's not change the subject. What are you going to do next?
You know, one of these days, one of my subtle hints is going to seep through that thick, if somewhat attractive head of yours. In the meantime, thanks for the info on Jerome Moreland. See you in the funny papers, Dick Tracy.
Hey, wait a minute, Dad. Don't you want to hang around? Maybe grab a coffee?
I've got work to do. Something's rotten in the state of Berkeley, my dear Shakespeare, and I'm going to follow my nose. Parting is such sweet sorrow, yada, yada. Hello, Yukon Detective Agency.
Miss Toffy Matson.
Oh, that's right. How can I help you?
Oh, sorry to wake you. This is the coroner's office in Berkeley.
Oh, right. That's today. I almost forgot.
Yes, ma'am. You have to appear at the inquest of Dr. Jerome Moreland. It's this afternoon at 1 o'clock in the Lewis Street office.
Okay, I'll be there. Thanks.
Quite all right, ma'am. Bye.
Hello, Rupert? The coroner's inquest is at 1 o'clock, so I'm going to come by and pick you up. I texted Mallard, still no Mrs. Moreland. What was her name? Dr. Jerome? Oh, Mrs. Moreland. And I just found that letter that Jerome Moreland gave me in my purse, so afterwards we'll drop it off. What? It's addressed to Hans Mittelstadt at the Snug Harbor Hotel. It's on the waterfront.
Who?
Okay, I'll say it louder for those in the cheap seats. Mittelstadt. Hans Mittelstadt.
I don't believe we have anyone registered here under that name. Of course, I've just come back from vacation.
Well, if you can get your mind off pina coladas and bikinis, maybe you could punch some buttons and take a look.
Yes, of course. No, terribly sorry. There doesn't seem to be any Middlestat listed.
No, hold on a minute there, Mr. Magoo. What's that right there?
Yes, I must have overlooked that. That is Middlestat, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't spell John Smith. All right, give. What's the room number?
Look, miss, why don't you just beat it? Nice people don't stay here, and, well, you're leading with your, chin.
Eyes up here. They're my chins, and I'll lead with them if I want to.
You're acquainted with Mr. Middlestaff, then?
Oh, acquainted with him? Of course. In fact, I have a very important message for him.
Why didn't you say so? Room 332, to the left after you get out of the elevator.
Hello, Mr. Middlestat. Your door's open, so I'm coming in. Sir, if you're in here, don't be afraid, but I'm gonna turn on some lights and... Oh, no, you're not in here. But the dead woman on the floor sure is. Let me check her medical alert bracelet she's got on. Yep, diabetic and Ruth Moreland. I'm starting to think Mallard might be right about me. Ooh!
All right. Come on, Daffy, snap out of it. You've been out long enough. Come on, tough girl. Come on, get with it. Come on, I'm tired of hovering over you like a fat guy at a buffet. So you got a lump on your head. Look, I've got work to do. Please, wake up. You're starting to scare me here, honey.
Oh, hi, Mallard. What happened? Feels like I was hit by a very big truck. Was it a very big truck?
Well, I suppose you tell me.
Oh, I would if I could, but I can't. All I know is I got smacked, though. How'd I get here, and where's here?
You're in the hospital. It seems like whoever gave you the love tap, that hard head of yours, didn't want you out of the game permanently. They just sent you to Dreamsville and then went through your purse. Room clerk calls the police to come pick up one napping PI and one very dead Ruth Moreland. Did you have anything to do with Mrs. Moreland's untimely demise, Toffy?
Oh, you know better than that, Mallard.
Yeah, I had to ask, though. Next question. Could that hotel clerk have given you the wallop?
Maybe, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But he's got shifty eyes, like a politician pandering for a vote. Okay, so somebody saps you so that they go through your purse, but looking for what? Do you have something somebody could be after? But it's not in your purse.
Mallard, have you been going through my purse, too?
Don't get so excited. It was just in the line of duty.
Don't you realize that a woman's purse is her private domain?
Not when the owner of said purse is laying unconscious on a hotel room floor with a corpus delicti. Now answer my question. Do you have anything somebody could be after? And where is it?
I have it on me.
So what's this all about?
Honestly, Mallard, my dear, I can't tell you because I don't really know.
Come on, Toffy,
I
give.
really don't know, but as soon as I know, you'll know.
Okay, then, new subject. Who killed Ruth Moreland?
I don't know that either. Well, not yet, anyway.
You know, Toffy, sometimes our friendship makes my job awfully tough. Take my advice. Don't take any long trips.
Oh, so we'll be honeymooning locally then?
All right, you little smartass. Look, feel better and let me know if you need anything. And don't fall for any doctors while you're here. They all got cooties.
Oh, hello, you beautiful person. You've reached Rupert. I'm off being fabulous somewhere, so please leave a message.
Hey, Rupert. I took an Uber back down to the waterfront to get my car. I've been doing some internet surfing into people's backgrounds thanks to my unplanned nap. Well, I'm now even more curious about this situation. I still have that envelope, so let's see what all this fuss is about. It's a sheet of paper addressed to Hans Mittelstadt, and it reads like this. All data sets complete, ready for alpha test. If my heart goes bad, you will receive this. Look for the future on Jake's belt. Be sure my share goes to Ruth, J.M. Jake who? Whom? Well, the only piece I can think to start is the late Dr. Jerome Moreland's house in Berkeley, so I'm off. Call when you can, Ducky. Whoa. Oh, hello there.
Hello,
What's your name?
Tommy. What's yours, hot stuff?
Oh, Toffy.
That's a pretty name. This.
Yes, it is very pretty. I hope I didn't startle you.
Well, as a matter of fact, you did. Do you often just creep out of the bushes that way?
My apologies. I was looking for my son. He must have climbed over the fence. I didn't expect to find him here. Now that both Dr. Moreland and Mrs. Moreland have died. Tommy, where have you been?
Right here, playing with the cat.
Right. Well, let me have the cat. Please. That's a good lad. You should go home now. Your mother will have dinner ready. Again, I'm sorry I frightened you. Go home, Tommy.
That's a pretty cat, Tommy. How long have you had him?
Oh, he's not mine. He lives here with Mrs. Moreland.
Oh, I see. Well, don't you think you'd better go along with your dad?
He's not my dad.
What? Well, then who is he, Tommy?
I don't know. Never saw him before. I figured he was with you. Boyfriend, husband, side piece.
I don't know him. Why would you think he was with me?
Nobody ever comes out here, and you two showed up at the same time. You're kind of hot, so I figured you guys were playing some kind of grown-up game.
What do you mean grown-up game?
You know, like on the internet, trying to spice up your relationship, whatever that means. Old people are weird.
Old? I'm not old. Well, never mind that, Tommy. If you don't know him, why'd you give him the cat?
He's not my cat. Besides, I thought I was part of the game. I read on the internet that old people, I mean grown-ups, have these things called fetishes, and
All right. I get it. You spend a lot of time on the internet. You need to talk to your mom. Tommy, what's the cat's name?
Mrs. Moreland calls him Jake.
Of course. Thanks, Tommy. You've been a really big help. I'll see you later, and hey, read a book, will you? Stay off the internet. I hate running, and there's no cell service.
Oh, you can get service out here, just not inside the house because of the metal roof.
Oh. Well, thanks again, kiddo.
Anytime, sugar hips.
Rupert, don't talk. Just listen. I have a suspect, but he has a head start on me, and I'll never be able to head him off on foot, so I'm headed back to my car. You still there? Rupert, I should be catching up to him any minute. He's driving a black Ford SUV of some sort. I need to call the... No, wait a minute. Something's going on up ahead. What's the commotion, officer?
Well, it's not a parade, lady. Car crash. Head-on collision.
Ooh, quite a mess. Anyone hurt?
Yeah. Lady in the sedan is pretty badly banged up. The guy in the SUV, well, he's dead.
You mean the guy in the black Ford SUV? He's dead?
Real dead. Do you know him?
Me? No. But was there any sign of a cat? A black cat?
A cat? Lady, you been drinking?
No, officer. I just knew that man had a cat with him. And
Look, lady, I haven't seen any cats or dogs or even goldfish. I was a block away and I heard the crash. When I got here, I didn't see any animals fleeing the ark, so why don't you just move along and...
Then Jake's bound to still be in the vicinity. Excuse me, officer. I have to see a cat about a murder. So did you identify my cat-snatching friend in the SUV?
SUV guy is approaching room temperature at the Berkeley morgue.
Aw, and I brought you a gift.
Yeah, what the heck? Hey, get that monster out of here, Toffy.
Aw, what's the matter, Mallet dear? Is a big bad policeman scared of a little pussycat?
Yeah, ha ha ha. I'm not afraid of nothing that can lick its own butt. These things just aren't sanitary, and I eat at this desk. Get it out of here.
No way, Beefcake. Jake here is an unbelievably valuable cat. He belonged to the late Dr. Jerome Moreland.
Okay.
See the fancy collar around Jake's neck? The novelty collar that looks like a championship belt? It's got a little container on it. So make with the multi-tool thingy there, 007, and we'll find something interesting.
It's a solid little thing. Hey, there we are.
Okay, Jake, on the floor now. That's it. So what did Santa bring us, Mallard?
Well, what do you know? A micro SD card.
And 5 will get you 10. It contains Dr. Moreland's magical algorithm.
Okay, Sherlock. Start unraveling the mystery.
Well, this is going to sound complicated, but it's really very simple. Before Dr. Moreland died, he gave me an envelope to deliver to a Hans Mittelstadt. When I tried to fulfill the dying man's wish, I got smacked over the head by, of all people, Mittelstadt. He read that I, a private detective, had been present at Moreland's demise, and he figured I had Moreland's data because when he searched Moreland's house, he couldn't find it. When I showed up at his hotel room unannounced, he whacked me on the beanie and went through my purse looking for the information. Since I didn't have it on me, he started following me to see if I'd hidden it. I found a cool little tracking device under my car.
I'd like to have a talk with him. I don't like guys going around slugging my favorite private detective.
It's a little too late. He was killed this afternoon in an auto crash.
Well, it saves me a little sweat.
Aw, you're my favorite flatfoot. Okay, so when I got home after my impromptu sap nap, I figured I was entitled to a quick peek. The basic info was to look on the belt of someone named Jake. And then I got to thinking about something Rupert said, and, well, that led me to the cat. So I went back to the house where it all began. Ran into little Tommy, nice kid, way too much internet access. He confirmed the cat's name was Jake, a cat carrying a valuable information belt.
But what about Mittelstadt and Mrs. Moreland? How do they figure into all this?
Are you ready for this? Mittelstadt was a silent financial backer on the project. Dr. Moreland had been working night and day, which is what probably brought on his heart attack. Well, since his work was classified, he couldn't trust anyone. But he had to keep Mittelstadt in the loop because, well, money. Mittelstadt said he was going to finance the corporate application of the algorithm to make Moreland rich, like gross national product of Italy rich. Or so he led the good doctor to believe.
Well, which is apparently a lie.
A big one. Is Mittelstadt was a foreign agent from one of those countries that prefer rice to potatoes. So he and his comrades became impatient. I figured he was watching the Moreland house and saw Mrs. Moreland leave to call the doctor. He forced her to go with him to his hotel, where he tried to make her tell him where the doctor kept his data. And, well, she wouldn't or couldn't talk, so in frustration, he kind of just choked her to death. Well, I walked in shortly thereafter.
Sounds like these spy boys are tough cookies.
Yep, but not especially smart. If he'd been patient, I'd have given him the information, willingly, according to Dr. Moreland's dying request. Well, isn't that irony for you?
But he couldn't be sure where you hid the information or what you intended to do with it, right?
He almost got away with it. There, but for the lack of a turn signal and a seatbelt. he'd have been off and running back to the land of ancient dragons and modern cheap labor.
Well, gorgeous, I gotta admit, you used your head on this one. Hey, but wait a minute there, Charlotte Chan. I follow the logic of how and why of the abduction and murder of Mrs. Moreland and the tracking of Jaguar Jake here. But how did you deduce all that stuff about Middlestat being a secret money man and the like?
So you're asking what makes me the world's greatest detective?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that SD card that also contains some business contacts that maybe I looked at before, doing my duty as a good American, and well, maybe we should mention that to whatever government agency comes to collect them. Well, it'll be hard to take me out next Saturday if I'm in some black site prison somewhere in Novalistan. Come on, sailor, knock off for a while. Buy me a cappuccino.
Cappuccino, sure, I guess you've got one coming. Well, in the interest of national security, of course.
Oh, and while you're at it, one big bowl of milk for Jake, straight up. I think the free world owes him that much, don't you?